Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel ThinkTech 9767. In today's video, we are going to learn the control statements in Python. Without time wasting, let's get started. When we write a program, the statements in the programs are normally executed by one, okay, as we know. And this type of execution is called as sequential execution. And the programs like addition, subtraction, and to find area of circle, and like these programs comes under the sequential execution. Okay, but sometimes we need to develop a critical programs. The programmer should be able to change the flow of execution is needed. Okay, and for example, the programmer may wish to repeat the group of statements for several times, or he may want to directly jump from one statement to another statement in the program. For this purpose, we need to control statements. And in this tutorial, you will learn more about the control statements. Okay? And first of all, what is the control statements? Control statements which control or change the flow of execution of the program. Okay? And the following are the control statements in the available Python. First of all, first one is the if statement, then if else, then if elif else statement, while loop, for loop, else should, break statement, continue statement, pass statement, assert statement, and return statement. Okay, all are the control statements. But you can observe that there is no switch statement available in Python. Okay, so note that the switch statement found in many languages not available in Python. Okay, and our first statement is the if statement, and the syntax is as follow: if condition colon, okay, colon and statements. We can implement here. First of all, if keyword, then condition. I can take simple condition 5 is greater than 4 or not. Okay, and as usual, you know, condition is true. So I can write here yes, 5 is greater than 4, and you know output will be yes. Okay, output is yes. But I change this number by putting 8. Then at this situation, what happened? Nothing printed, nothing output. Okay, because the condition is true, condition is not true, that is condition is false, and condition is false, so the statement is not printed. Okay, we will see in if else statements clearly. Okay, and next is if else. But before going on, indentation. Indentation is more important in Python. Indentation is nothing but the spaces that are used in the beginning of statement. Look here, there is some spaces available before print, and that are nothing but the indentation. In Python, default indentation is 4 spaces. If you avoid spaces and try to run the program, then you get the error as expected and indented block. Okay, that simply means you need to use proper indentation, and in Python proper indentation is 4 spaces. Okay, after that we will see if else statement. In if else, if condition is true, then the statement 1 is printed, and if the condition is not true, then statement 2, that is else part, is printed. Let's see how. Else, and if the condition is not true, then the else part is printed, and you can write here no. We know 5 is not greater than 8, that is condition is false, and you can see the result here, no. Okay, as expected. Simple if else statements are also simple. The condition, if the condition first, that is if condition is true, then print the statement in if block, and if the condition is not true, then the else part is printed. Okay, it's enough to know. After that, if else, we will go ahead to if elif else, and in if elif else, if the condition 1 is true, then print the statement 1. Another condition, elif condition 2 is true, then print the statement 2. Elif condition 3 is true, then print the statement 3, and as going as if elif statement is used for the multiple condition. Sometimes the programmers has to test multiple conditions and execute the statements. Depending on those conditions, if elif else statement is useful in such situations. Okay, as we saw the syntax, if condition 1, then statement 1 will be printed. Elif condition 2, statement 2 will be printed. Elif condition 3, statement 3 will be printed. Otherwise, else condition is printed. Okay, and in this else part is not compulsory, but we can use else as synthetically correct, and we can take a program for if elif else statement. Is very simple, and you can take program here. We can take to check the number is positive, negative or 0. Okay, first of all, I can take variable num and the input method, and we want to integer number. Okay, and input method is there used for to user input acceptance. Okay, and I'll take message enter num. Okay, and after that, first of all, I'll take here condition if. Okay, first of all, the number is greater than 0. Okay, if the number is greater than 0, then definitely it will be the, it's not bad, it's definitely it will be the positive. Okay, it will be the positive. And if the elif, okay, elif second condition, what will be the second condition? Number will be less than 0. Okay, and if the number is less than 0, then your number is negative. Okay, negative. And the last one and remaining, if the number is not negative and not positive, then the number will be 0. Okay, and I'll print here 0. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, 0, and we will see the output. Enter number. Okay, here you can see, 1 second, I will tell you. 1 second. Okay, enter number. First of all, we will enter positive number, so 6. You get output 6. Okay, and if you want to check again, then you can take negative number. For example, -2 and negative. You can check also for 0 condition also, it will be given output as 0. Okay, after the if elif else statement, the next one is the while loop. Okay, while loop, as we know, there are 2 loops, for loop and while loop, present in the Python. A statement is executed only once from the top to bottom. Okay, For example, if a statement that executed by Python interpreter only once, but a loop is useful to execute repeatedly. In if statement, we have seen the condition is checked only once, okay, but in loops the condition is checked multiple time, or the execution takes place multiple time or iteratively, okay. And the syntax of while loop, as we know, while, condition, and the statement, okay. Here statements represent the statement or suite of statements, okay, and suite of statement is nothing but the group of statements is known as suite, okay. And for example, we will take the simple example to print the number from 1 to 10, okay. We will print from 1 to 10 to display the number from 1 to 10. First of all, we'll initialize x equals to 1 and while keyword, okay, while, and condition is what? X is less or equal to 10, because we want to print numbers up to 10, okay. And after the condition, we want to print the number, and we'll take here x, okay. And the most important thing is that you should to need increment by 1, because 1 after 2, 3, 4, increment by 1. And which one is important? Because if you don't take care of incrementation, it will go into the infinite loop. We will see after that infinite loop also, okay. And we will get the output as 1 to 10 numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 10, okay. After the while loop, the next one is the for loop, and in for loop syntax is for var. Var is the variable, in is the keyword, in sequence is 1, and the statements, okay. For loop, syntax of for loop is there, and the for loop is useful to iterate over the elements of sequence. It means the for loop can be used to execute a group of statements repeatedly depending upon the number of elements in the sequence, okay. And the for loop can work with sequence like string, list, tuple, range, etc. And the syntax, as we know, for, var, that is variable, in, sequence of statements. The first element of the sequence is assigned to variable written after for, and then the statements are executed. Next, the second element of the sequence is assigned to the variable, and then statements are executed second time. In this way, for each element of the sequence, the statements are executed once, okay. So the for loop is executed as many times as there are numbers of elements in the sequence, okay. Here the sequence, as the sequence is the number of sequences, the for loop is iterative, okay. And we will take the simple example of string for loop. I'll take here for loop, okay. For first of all, I'll take string, simple string. So in str, that is our, sorry, this is that, str and colon, okay, and print the what you want, that is ch, okay. After that, we will get the result. Look now, one character of the thing take firstly display, then again it goes to the next iteration, then it will print the second character h, then next character I, and as this manner, In this manner, the syntax is printed. Okay, that means single characters. First of all, it will treat as for ch in str. In str, the first character, one by one, the characters are displayed. Okay, it's about for loop, and for loop is also used for many purposes, like pattern printing, or to find the odd numbers between 1 to 10, or between something. We'll take the another example for loop. We'll take the odd numbers between 1 to 10. Okay, we want to find out odd numbers between 1 to 10, and it will be displayed as simply for I in range. Here I is the variable, okay, and range is a function in which we can take the range from 1. Okay, we want to display the numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, 1 to 10, and you know, for odd number, we can, if we take a number start from 1, then when we increment by 2, it will be definitely give us odd number. Okay, and print here, but you need to print I, because in variable I we want to fix it. Okay, and you get the output. Okay, 1 3 5 7 9. Okay, you can see 1 3 5 as the expected output is odd numbers. Okay, and you can also for descending order, and take the list of elements, and display each element from the list. You can write also program for that purpose also using for loop. Okay, and the next one is the infinite loop, the loop which never terminates, or the loop which executes forever. As we saw in while loop, I said the increment is more important, because if you don't take the increment, that condition, then definitely your program will become into the infinite loop. So we'll take example for the infinite loop. It simply means the loop which never terminates, or the loop which executes forever. Okay, let's take example. A while loop. Okay, in while loop, first of all, I'll mention I equals to 1. Okay, and while loop, while condition I is less or equals to 10. Okay, and we want to print. Okay, print I, and after that we know we need to write I plus equals to 1, that is incrementation. I equals to, it simply means that I equals to I plus 1. Okay, and we'll get the output as expected of 1 to 10. But when we remove this one, now look the output. It's going on, nothing is stopped. Look here, no iteration is stopped, everyone is going on, and you can see it's infinite loop. Okay, after infinite loop, we will, next one is the nested loop. We can write one loop inside another loop, known as nested loop. Okay, and we can take one loop inside another loop. For example, we can take for loop inside another for loop, or a while loop. It simply means that we can write one loop inside another loop. Okay, and such loops are known as in nested loops. And for that purpose, we can take an example like simple example for that. We can print pattern also. Okay, and for that purpose, we'll need to for loop inside another for loop. You can take an example for that also. For printing right angled triangle of stars. Okay, for I in range of, we want to take an example from 1 to 10 stars. 10 stars is enough. Okay, and after that, hold on, and inside for loop, inside another for loop. Okay, for j in range of, what will going here, range from 1 to I plus 1. Okay, I plus 1. Every time it will be incremented by 1. And print star. We get the output as we expected. Print star. Okay, and you can take here end, because we want to new line after the printing stars. Okay, and also want to spaces. It's output. Oh, it's my bad. Going back. Correct output is here. It's due to the indentation. In Python, indentation is more important because of this. Okay. After nested loop, we will see the else loop. Okay. Else loop. Else loop is also important, or what you say that else loop in Python. It is possible to use else statement along with the for loop or while loop, and this is known as the else loop. Okay, and after else loop, the break statement. Interpreter jumps out of the loop when break statement